Ang ibig po sabihin ng kapit ay kapit lamang. Saan ba tayo kakapit? Sa Panginoon. So good morning everyone. Today is Saturday and I hope that you will continue to support my vlog, to support watching my vlog. To those who are telling me that I'm trying hard to speak English, then I don't care. But thank you so much for the commenting, for the comments that you have commented on my vlog. So I'm here again. The trying hard person is here in front of you, and I would like to send to you the details or the news about ICC being sanctioned by Trump. And this is not a fake news because I am not here to send or to deliver a fake news. If I deliver a news, it's not fake because I got basis. I have some basis with it, no? So thank you for the bashers. Thank you for bashing me. It adds my pants in YouTube. So here we are. But don't forget to subscribe. Okay? And don't forget to comment. Thank you so much.
Al Jazeera podcasts.
Today, can the International Criminal Court survive?
Since U.S. President Donald Trump imposed
Again.
sanctions on its chief.
Wait lang. Kasi na-touch ko eh.
Al Jazeera podcasts.
Today, can the International Criminal Court survive?
Since U.S. President Donald Trump imposed sanctions on its chief prosecutor, Karim Khan, in February, the Hague-based court has reportedly struggled to operate.
Now facing sanctions and scandal, the court's limited power is diminishing. So what does that mean for justice beyond borders? I'm Natasha Del Toro, and this is The Take.
Listen, bashers. This is from international news.
Employees are barred from working in the United States. Email is difficult. Even speaking to a colleague or responding to your boss could mean up to 20 years in jail. That's life these days at the International Criminal Court, the only court that investigates and, where warranted, tries individuals for war crimes and crimes against humanity.
The International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant for Russian President Vladimir Putin because of his alleged involvement in abductions of children from Ukraine.
Breaking news, and the International Criminal Court has issued arrest warrants for Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant for alleged war crimes in the Gaza Strip. It's also issued warrants for Hamas leader Mohammed Diab al-Masri.
The former Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte has been arrested at Manila Airport on an international criminal
Has been
court
arrested
warrant.
But today,
by
it's
force.
finding it very difficult to do its job. Joining us to talk about this is Molly Quell, a reporter for the Associated Press who's been covering the International Criminal Court, the ICC, through its successes and the challenges that it's facing now.
Oh, listen, bashers, they will gonna discuss about the sanction of President Trump to the ICC, wherein this ICC is claiming themselves that they are they're against humanity, no? So just listen to it, and you will understand that Tatay Digong or PR Adi became famous because of this ICC International Criminal Court. But actually, Tatay Digong is not a criminal. He is not being jailed in The Hague if it was not Marcos who officially forced him to bring to The Hague. Don't you think? If they didn't force or send Tatay Digong to The Hague forcefully, he should be in jail? No, of course not. Because Philippine and ICC has no jurisdiction in between of them. But because of this bangag administration, he forcefully sent Tatay Digong to The Hague, no? And he bend the law and he breaks the constitution of our Philippine government. And now, look what Trump is doing. And now, what happened to the ICC? Tatay Digong will be great, will be famous because of him. where the ICC is making him as a trophy, that they thought that they have caught a big fish from the Philippines. But behind the scene, this ICC, I am 100% surely that this ICC court is a paid court. Why? Tatay Digong is asking for interim release and they don't want to let him out from the prison because, you know why? It's a slap for the face of Bongbong Marcos. So now Trump is upset and angry. If they will not comply what Donald Trump says, there will be more sanction for them. Otherwise, Donald Trump will attack their own court, not just the ICC, but also the court of the ICC. Okay? So, let's continue. Maybe unfortunately, soon, what Tatay Digong says, the reckoning is coming. The day of reckoning.
Journalist for the Associated Press, and I am coming to you from
Yeah.
The Hague in the Netherlands.
I'm so excited to talk with you today. This is such an important topic, and I imagine there's a lot of tension there right now in your workplace. I know that you've been covering the ins and outs of the ICC for a few years now, and you've seen the court file some really high-profile indictments and hand out arrest warrants. But from what I'm reading right now, and from what you're reporting, it's not really functioning. Maybe you could tell us what's going on.
How do
I
it
think
will function?
when I had this story that was published
Voting
last
is
week,
not
it was
easily
somewhat
to
funny
take.
because I didn't really expect it to have the sort of impact that it did. And this is because Trump had sanctioned the previous prosecutor, Fatou Bensouda, who's a lawyer from the Gambia. And those of us who kind of cover the Hague and cover the court sort of knew what the implication of Trump sanctioning Karim Khan in February were going to be. That's ICC prosecutor Karim Khan.
Because this Khan he raped someone. He has a case of rape.
That he was going to lose access to services that are provided by
Good for
U.S.
him.
companies, and that it was going to make life at the court very difficult, particularly for American citizens who are especially susceptible to the secondary effects of sanctions. And that's kind of exactly what has happened. That Microsoft has sort of canceled Khan's email address and his bank accounts have been frozen. And
it's difficult for him
a
to
long
communicate
period of time,
others.
these people were really sort of at risk of, fairly high criminal and financial penalties if they violated these sanctions orders. And so inevitably what has happened is that a number of staff have left, also out of fear of being sanctioned themselves.
I mean, that's huge that Microsoft has cut and to stop the email. I mean,
No.
that must be sort of paralyzing the functions at the ICC.
I mean, it is the ICC is a user of a number of Microsoft products, but Microsoft is a U.S. corporation, and if they did not comply with the orders from the Trump administration, they faced serious, substantial penalties for continuing to provide a service to Karim Khan.
See how difficult to Karim Khan, no? Dahil lahat, all of his
So what's the mood?
communication was sanctioned by Trump, like email, calling someone, his banks, everything was sanctioned by Trump. Not only him, but also the judge now, and some of the judge. And Trump is asking them to comply something, and if they are not able to comply it, also the court will have sanctions soon.
there like right now?
I mean, I don't think it's very good. I think it's been like this for a while. People have been sort of aware that another 4 years of a Trump administration was going to be quite bad for the ICC.
It's had
Quite
huge
bad for the ICC.
implications for obviously for
Good
the
for
court, for
us.
Kareem Khan, and for employees that are working there who risk jail time if they communicate with him. From
20
what I
years, 20 years in
understand.
jail. I mean, 20 years in federal prison, right? If you violate the sanctions orders, and penalties of, I think, is $100,000 per instance. So that's
wild.
I don't have $100,000 to pay, so I'm sure most people don't.
So this guy's like, nobody's going to talk to him right now. He is like a pariah at the moment, I would imagine, just
Yeah.
because people are afraid of what could happen to them.
Yeah, I mean, U.S. citizens in particular, sanctions need like kind of a sort of U.S. connection in order to kind of have these implications of these like secondary sanctions. And also, sanctions can be, they can be very opaque, and it can be very difficult to combat them. The people who are sanctioned are non-U.S. citizens, and that means they often don't have a right to kind of contest those sanctions in a U.S. court. So it can be quite hard to suss out exactly where the rules are for things.
So people would rather just not take the chance, is what I'm guessing. And
Essentially, you end up with this problem of overcompliance. I mean, if you're a small NGO that works with the court, I mean, you don't have the money to kind of fight these things off. So instead, you choose to cease doing work with the ICC, or you choose to cease doing work on the Palestine investigation because you think that that's going to make you a target. So the sanctions are bad, right? But they are against Khan. But you can also sanction an institution. And so if Trump chooses to sanction the court as a whole, it is wildly unclear what happens to the detention center. Because
Yes,
they
he
also,
will,
that would mean
soon.
the court also loses access to all of its, anything that's provided by a U.S. service provider. So
You
that would be no
better
email
let
for
them
anybody
go
that works for
out.
the court. The whole thing would go, right? But this would also be things like if the key cards system is an American company, they would also lose access to this. The ICC, it is the one that facilitates, right, like lawyers' visits to the detention facilities and all this kinds of stuff. And so, like, it's totally unclear what would happen if Trump sanctions the court with these guys who are sitting in detention.
And you also mentioned that this isn't the first time that Trump has gone after the court. That he was going after the court in his first term, but now in his second term, he's...
Bakit ganito ngayon lang? Why this happen now? Because PRRD is an ally of Trump. Didn't the ICC realize that PRRD is an ally and a friend of Trump? And now the Bangag administration sent him there illegally. Now, Trump gave two kind of things that the ICC should be comply. If they are not able to comply these two things, Trump says he is going to sanction not just the judges and the prosecutors, but the court itself. So you're gonna see it soon. This is what Tatay Digong says. The Lord is not sleeping. God is not sleeping. He sees everything, and he knows that Tatay Digong have been fought to make the Philippine great and to clean the Philippine from drug addict and drug lords. But this administration of Bongbong Marcos is a bangag. You know what is a bangag? According to his sister, he is an addict. So we have a president that is an addict. Not from me, from his sister, Amy Marcos. So guys, tomorrow we're gonna talk again about this because I need to go now. My employer needs to go to her work. And thank you for watching me. And I hope that you will not stop watching me, supporting me until I get notified. Get notified by Meta, because the desire that I have when I get notified and then monetize. I'm sorry, because there are too many people beside me. So I am going to help for the indigenous Filipino people in the Philippines. This is your Kapyot vlog. Good morning and happy Saturday. Enjoy your weekend. Goodbye and God bless us.